So I am a CODA. CODA. That is a child of a deaf adult. So what that means is that both my parents are deaf. Yeah. So after shows, people come up to me and they'll ask me, are your parents really deaf? So I'm going to tell you guys what I tell them every time. There are 3 possibilities. 1, they're really deaf. 2, I learned sign language so that I could tell jokes about an imaginary deaf parent. Or 3, I'm just making all this stuff up. Listen, I was doing TikToks before there was a TikTok. No, my parents are really deaf. You guys can relax. And I've told my mom all of these jokes. She was completely fine with it. She is deaf, of course. You do realize that. She kidding. Anyway. It's weird. People come up to me all the time and they have weird questions that they want to ask me about my parents. But the weirdest question that I've gotten over and over again all throughout my life is this one. Can your parents drive? So I always ask them a question. I said, well, like, can you drive? And they're like, oh, yeah. Well, they let stupid people drive. Just saying. I'm just saying. Now, I'm going to be honest with you, though. Riding in a car with my parents was terrifying, though. They could drive, but they couldn't drive. Because deaf people are like everybody else on the planet. They like to talk while they drive. Yeah. They talk with their hands. Yeah. Deaf people were the first people to text and drive. I don't know if y'all know that. And because of that, they got pulled over all the time. And I learned something very important about police officers. Police officers don't like to give deaf people tickets. Did you know that? They feel sorry for them. So I may or may not have pretended to be deaf on a few occasions. Listen, it is very effective. There's just 2 key ingredients, 2 very important things. Number 1, you gotta let him know you're deaf. That means ear no working. That's what that means. Number 2, and I'm going to be honest with you, this is probably the most important. You got to use the deaf accent. You just got to do it. Listen, I know it's wrong. I'm not telling you guys to do it. I'm probably going to hell for it. I'll be honest with you. But here's the thing. I don't got a ticket. I am ticket free, baby. Ticket free. Hey, listen, faking being deaf has come in handy in other places, too. Like the first 3 years of my marriage. Also known as the best 3 years of my marriage. I know. Relax. Relax. So, one of the tough things growing up was sitting on the toilet and running out of toilet paper. It's a real problem if your parents are deaf. That joke's like a slow roll. Stop it. My mom and dad, they would have friends over to the house. You know, you'd have like 5, 10, 15, 20 friends. And here's the thing I learned. When you get a bunch of deaf people in the room, it is quiet. I mean, you could hear a pin drop. I mean, if you weren't deaf, of course. Listen, all you would hear is just hand slaps and a random fart. You know, they don't have to hold it in. They just let that bad boy go. And they did. I mean, they did. It was not good. It was like a nasal torture chamber in that place is what it was. It was not good. When I was 9 years old, my mom and dad picked me to be their interpreter. What that means is when they would go to the grocery stores, pay bills, run errands, whatever it was, I would go translate for them. And it was cool. It wasn't a big deal. Except for the time my mom took me to the gynecologist. That, I know, not good. That is not cool. That is a terrible way to learn about the birds and the bees is all I'm saying. Terrible. But it had its advantages. Think about it. When you're interpreting for your parents, you can say whatever it is you want to say. Right? Now think about it. Here's where it came in super handy for me. I got in trouble one time at school, and I got sent to the principal's office. My dad's there. The principal's like, you need to tell your dad you got in a fight at lunch today. So look at my dad, and I tell him, I saved a boy's life at lunch today. And my dad's like, really? Really? Well, what happened? What happened? So I looked at the principal and I said, he wants to know what happened. He said, well, tell him you got in a fight over a girl. The boy got some chicken stuck in his throat. He would have died. He would have died, but I saved his life. Now, this is the important part. My dad then grabs me by the shoulder, and he looks at me, and he says, I am so proud of you, proud of you. You notice that, right? You notice this? Very fortunate for me that the sign for proud looks like somebody getting stabbed to death. So I'm like, he said he's going to kill me. And a miracle happens. The principal's like, just go on home, son. Just go on home. And I did. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. It was, man. It was weird growing up with deaf parents. I'm not going to lie to you. It was weird. But I'll tell you this, what was weirder than that.